Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Game FourCast, the weekly podcast where we get together, chat about all our favourite video games and what we've been playing all week and the news that's come out. So, my name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks, and I'm here with Olive Meister Will.
Hello, my name is Olive Meister and/or Will, and I had a joke this morning and I've forgotten it. I'm so disappointed in myself.
That's old age, that is. With Quikwix Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm unfazed by seasonal allergies, as I've already been crying for 7 years.
And Sammeh.
I'm definitely not unfazed by seasonal allergies.
You've been crying for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
no follow-up. Just like, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been a rough 7 years.
Oh dear.
Right, so let's get stuck in.
So, World of Warcraft, right? I tried to hold off recently. I talked about Across the Obelisk, which also I love that game. That game's fantastic. People should play it. But we have done all raids in World of Warcraft this week, apart from 10-man Nax, which we do tomorrow as a 10-man, which is going to be really cool. Just to be like, we're doing the raid, we're doing it, and it's just going to be 10 mates. It's 10 mates. There's no
hell yeah
randos or anything. It's just 10 dudes, hanging out, having fun. But not only did we do all the raids for 6 hours last Saturday, I raid leaded the 25-mans.
Oh, really?
In a row.
Big boy.
Hell yeah.
I recruited. I made a Discord for it. I was the one talking tactics before every boss fight. Like, it was sick. It didn't require as much setup as I thought it would, but also in the back of my mind, every time we did something, I was like, I fucked this up somehow, ain't I? There's a tactic I've missed, isn't there? But it's like, I'm like the least knowledgeable about it.
Yeah.
But I don't have like the social anxiety that everyone else gets with talking with randos.
Or you have a real job, Sam. You negotiate and talk to the general public.
It is the thing. Like, maybe it is that now after 3 years of retail.
Yes.
But like everyone's like, I don't want to talk to people, and I'm like, I still keep getting told I'm too nice. Because like we get absolute shitters, and there's one boss where all you have to do is walk around the boss clockwise if your like debuff changes. If you go from a plus to a minus, you move to the other side of him.
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's
Thaddeus.
Yeah. It's all you got to do. Would you believe it? The two fucking chickens, right? The two fucking boomkins, and they're fucking boomkins. So it's not like, what character just walked through the boss there? It's like the two giant fucking chickens keep just walking through the fucking boss, and I'm like, we can see you doing this, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because we're going to kill the boss, right? At the end of the day, the boss is down. I don't care, and everyone's just there, just like, you're too nice. I'd be raging at him. And in voice chat, we are like, again, we're holding back because we've got like 23 of the 25 raid in the voice chat. Because I was like, look, it's not required, but if you're in the voice chat, I can guarantee you this raid goes a lot smoother.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier if I can just tell you over voice during the raid.
Yeah.
Go left, kill ads, stuff like that.
You need to go like middle management and be like, You two boomkins, can you step into my office for a minute? We need to have a chat.
You need the compliment sandwich. Yeah.
We had one rogue who was called Smooth Elf, and he clearly wasn't in the Discord. So this poor lad, because he was the biggest shitter there as well. He also walked through Thaddeus, but he died in every boss fight, and he became the one everyone picked on. We were like, fucking smooth brain elf over here.
I was gonna say that,
and then someone goes, look, you call yourself smooth elf, you're opening yourself up to be called smooth brain. But no, we wiped twice on Patchwork, which is like, it's the first like gear check boss. It's like, you just have to pump it. There's no like secret tactics or kill ads. It's hit boss before boss hits you too hard.
Do your rotation properly and everyone can move on.
we wiped twice, but the first time we pulled it, we then found out we didn't clear all the ads out. So we had an ad walkover,
that's always
which
fun.
kind of instantly fucks it. And then the second time, I can't really remember what happened, but it wasn't like the cleanest like pull.
Yeah.
And then the third time, it was like, right, make sure everything's right. Okay, everything looks good. It's dead. So we were okay.
Sick.
And then I think we died the first time on Thaddeus because the joke we made was, yeah, just go round clockwise. And then one of our friends goes, yeah, but one time when I said that to someone, they asked, yeah, but what way up are you holding the clock? And it's like, how do I respond to that? That's both hilarious, but like, what the fuck do you mean at the same time?
He's only got digital clocks in his life.
Yeah. Oh, there was one other boss. There was 3 bosses we wiped on. The other bosses, you have to have a priest, mind control a mob. That mob
that one's
tanks.
awful.
And then you have another priest, mind control another mob, and then that one taunts off, and then you basically alternate tanking through mind controls.
That's cool.
And the only strat was mind control from max range, because when the mind control drops, the ad goes, that fucker was fucking controlling me.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill him.
And he comes over to hit you. And if you're max range, you've got like a clean 6 seconds for it to get taunted, slowed, CC'd, mind controlled, whatever. And this priest was like, yeah, I'm standing at max range. The mind control drops. The mob doesn't even move. It just turns and claps him. We're just like, thank God he was at max range. And then literally, I still think today we were just cracking jokes when we were talking in chat, just like, well, he was at max range.
Raiding such a good time.
Was so fun, and it's when you actually just get that clean pull, everything goes well, no one dies, the boss goes down, you're like, we just fucking did it. Like, there was no drama whatsoever. Like, yeah, next time we're delegating a bit, because people were a bit annoyed that I didn't do any gear checks or anything. I'm one of those people, I don't care if you're in Discord and I can tell you what to do. Your gear could be shit. As long as you're willing to listen, we will just do it.
Yeah.
Especially on the first raid of the expansion, it's built to be beat by non-raid geared people, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not. Yeah, because it's raid number 1. Yeah.
There were people that couldn't out DPS the tanks, and normally that is an issue where you're like, we're not at retail level yet where tanks can start trying to pump.
I was gonna say, was there not a point where just tanks were stronger than DPS?
I think once you hit WOD, maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe a rogue tank in MOP, but from WOD onwards, some tanks could actually keep the DPS on their toes on the meters.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember when this raid first came out originally, it was actually the world first guild beat it at level 78. They all
level
went
78 in questing greens.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter.
Oh wow, I don't remember that.
It's like, if you're just willing to do tactics, you will clear this raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets, but having that many randos fail tactics and not be geared enough, we decided that 2 people are gonna just inspect people to be like, okay, you've done some dungeons. We're not expecting to be full pre-biz.
Yeah.
Just, hey, you've not just hit 80 and gone, oh, I can do 25-man raiding, even though you probably could.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
So, but even then, it took 6 hours to do 25-man Nax, which took 4 hours, I think. And then we cleared Malagos after that. Then we beat Sartharian 2 Drake. We didn't risk the 3 Drake.
Oh,
but
such a fun fight though.
Well, so all 3 Drake does is it drops the mount, which obviously we've got to get the mount, start flexing on people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, do you really want to do 3 Drake week 1 with randos?
Yeah, you're not gonna have a fun time.
And then there's a Wintergrasp raid, which I could have done with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
That one was easy.
But it was just cool to be like, wow, we just fucking went and did it. We just went and did it.
Did you do as good as you thought you would, or? Did you think you would do better, or like what's?
We
Yeah.
thought we would have to stop. Like 2 to 8 was our thing. We finished at like 7:30.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting to clear all 4 raids.
Oh right.
We thought Nax, but because of randos, we weren't sure how Nax would go. Because there are just some bosses where if people just completely ignore tactics, you've got to do something about it, and then that causes some groups to like fall apart, and then you have to wait an hour to reform a group and shit like that. Like normally it's the recruiting that takes ages once a group starts falling apart. Like we were finding pulls. If you wipe, just get there, rebuff up, go over tactics again, have another crack. Your downtime's only like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty fast if everyone's just like, okay, let's just give it another go. So, yeah, it got to the point where we did the Sunday time slot where we were like, between 5 and 7, we got 2 hours to try and finish up anything else. We just went and did the 10-man of Malagos, Sartharian, and the Wintergrass boss.
Yeah.
Because now we've done it on 25-man, we can do it on 10-man, which is mostly just us. And we were done in 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So you always have those moments, don't you, where like the first time you do a raid, it takes like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then you're like, we're not going to do this every week. And then by like week 2, you have it down to like half an hour.
You can basically do it blindfolded.
Yeah.
We thought we'd only get Nax done or 10-man on Tuesday, because we're doing it tomorrow. Because we've set a 3-hour time slot to do it. And we were like, that's approximately all trash plus boss.
Yeah.
Is 13 minutes for each boss. We have 13 minutes to clear all the trash, kill the boss. And if we stay on that pace of 13 minutes per boss, we'll clear it in 3 hours. And we were like, it's week 1. Like, how are we going to do? The fact that we did 25-man with about 4 or 5 wipes, 10-man's going to be a lot easier because even in the 25-mans, the top 5 DPS on every single fight was our guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
so it'll be easy then, yeah.
You'll be fine unless you're going for the achievements for the achievement mount.
Yeah, but I don't think like we can do that like week 3, week 4.
Yeah.
Right. At this point, we're just like, right, just get the gear, because then we just pump harder, and then the time goes down. We were worried we wouldn't be able to get all 10-man raids done on Tuesday, and I think we probably could.
It's also like it's classic WoW. You have like most people there, I assume, have done these before. Like
so there was a really chatty paladin who was like, you get like that one guy who's like open a chat and he was just like really chill and really cool. We had one guy and he was just there like, oh yeah, I did this in Nax, and I was just there, did this like ages ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I didn't play Wrath. Like this is my first time experiencing Wrath.
Yeah. It's
But
like
I
for
was
a lot
like-
of people where it's like, say, Side and Athreus, it's like you walk in, you're like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? What's that over there? Who's? It's like classic WoW. It's like for probably like most of the raid, they're like, oh yeah, I remember this. Just run around in a circle, or this or that. Or
it's like mechanically just a lot simpler back then, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
That's the other thing I was saying was it's just simply the fact that also the mechanics are not as easy as not as hard as retail. Sorry, it's normally 1 or 2 tactics a boss, and it's already figured out. People know. They're like, but they've buffed the bosses. It's got 30% more damage and health or something or other, and it's like it doesn't matter because what kills you isn't the damage. Apart from Patchwork, it having more health is a bit iffy.
Yes, it's
the boss hitting people doesn't kill people. It's the boss tactics that kills people.
Yeah.
And that's been figured out on private servers. And I mean, we had a bit of a discussion about this, but at the end of the day, there is so much more easy access to the internet now than there was back then.
Yes,
The internet was not in full force, but it was definitely out during Wrath.
Well,
right?
it's like there was
People didn't
internet.
know how to utilize it like we do now.
There was obviously internet, right? But it was like there wasn't like Wowhead and WoWWiki and all that.
Yeah, it's
so
like
you could just
game facts.
Zip. Exactly.
No,
yeah.
It was Thoughtbot back then.
Yeah, I remember Thoughtbot. Yeah.
But
So
there's
it's
just
like-
game facts with the title World of Warcraft written out in ASCII slashes and underscores.
Game Facts is a treasure that.
And it's like
Vince
it's like
Simpson lost.
Nax guide, and it's like a 20-page like text document. Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing, and I I've been loving it.
I'm glad
WoW
you're
is
enjoying it.
really fun, and again, it's definitely more fun because every week I get to look forward to us having a core group of 10 people doing a raid. We don't have to worry about randoms. We like the worst thing we have to worry about is maybe someone can't make it.
Yeah.
But like we've all tried to set aside a time, we've done our best, and we found a slot, and it's a pretty small slot of 3 hours.
Yeah.
We can all just get together and chill and play games together.
That's sick. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. We'll pass on to. We'll go to Will next. What have you been doing, Will?
Hello.
Hello.
I have not had any time to play what I really want to play, which is I want to keep playing more Gloomhaven because I llove that game. I'm thinking about it now. I want to go back and play it, but I think Erin's kind of burning out on it, which is fair. Because there's a lot of planning and thinking involved, and I think after a certain point she was like, I just kind of want to. She has said she wants to go back, but yes, we'll see.
On her terms.
I also, exactly. I also, I really wanted to play Grounded this week because that just got its 1.0
That's
release,
out, isn't it? Yeah.
It's out, and it has a start and a finish, which I think is what a lot of those survival crafting games lack, don't they? It's like an end point.
I'm going to say, before you go into your main thing, just really quickly, I saw Erin playing Satisfactory, I think, on Discord.
Yeah.
And that's another game, almost like Grounded, where I really want to play it right now, but I've played it so many times, and because it still doesn't have like a definitive like end point.
Yeah.
I'm just like sleeping on that still. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that. I saw her playing it, so I thought I'd bring that up quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm the same. I'm waiting for 1.0 with Satisfactory and some kind of end goal.
Yeah.
But what I played this week is a little game called Marauders. Oh, you'd already typed it in.
I
Google.
knew it was coming.
It's like, oh, you were streaming it all day. I wonder what you were talking about.
So Marauders is basically Space Tarkov, but it has some very distinct advantages, which is why I think I will continue to play this and continue to not play Tarkov.
Yes.
Until the wipe happens.
Which
Tell me more.
No, I genuinely think this is a more. I don't think it's better. Like, better is, what does that even mean? But I think this interests me way more because of a few things. I think the setting is way more interesting. It's basically it's diesel punk World War II in space. So it's like the setup is like World War II never ended, and instead we all went to space to keep fighting the war, basically the Great War, basically. And the idea is it's essentially Tarkov in that there are raids and you define your own objectives, right? And you risk whatever you take in with you. So if you die, you lose everything. But there's two very distinct phases to each raid, which I think people are like, I don't know if it's like, it's not slept on, but I think people are not noticing the sort of impact it has. Because like, you think about Tarkov, right? You boot it up, you go in raid, you have to sit on that stupid menu, the stupid loading screen for like 5 minutes. And this is like, there is the and it like drops you in a bush and you're just on edge the second you load in, and you're like, oh, I hate this. This is awful. I don't want to be here, sort of thing. This has this like space phase where it's more like sort of something like Sea of Thieves, right? Where all the crews are together in their own ships and they all spawn around the edge of the map like Hunt style. And then there's like this gold rush, this race to the middle point of interest, right? Where you can dock and then you play it out like a normal raid.
Yeah.
But that space phase is like, it's like relaxing enough to where like you get in, you have all your gear, and then you're sort of cruising around and you're like, all right, there's a squad over there, there's a squad landing there. And it's like chill compared to like actual Tarkov and actual raiding in Marauders, right? Where we're just sort of I was playing with Swagger today in the Discord, and we would be like, oh, we're flying around and we're goofing off and chatting shit, and then it's like, and then you dock at the station, and then it's like, all right, ears on, like we got knuckle down, we got to get.
I'm going to make a really weird comparison really quickly. Is it kind of like the parachute phase of a battle royale?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I think it's more like I guess in terms of Hunt, it's more like, you know, most of the time in Hunt, you're like, I know I'm fairly safe for the first compound, maybe even the second
Yeah.
compound, right? So you're sort of just chatting and goofing off and stuff like that. And it's like a really nice, like, decompress phase of the raid, you know? And
Yeah.
I just really, I think it,
You have set points where you know when to switch on and when to switch off. And that's not to say, like, in Hunt, that you're not just going to get randomly killed, but you know that statistically you can chat for a little bit because you're probably not going to die.
Yeah. And then you go into the raid, and it's very Tarkov. It's like, you know, you have an inventory, and everything is grid based. Like, you'll find, oh, here's a can of beans, and that's 1 by 1, and here's a gun, and that's 4 by 9 or whatever the fuck. And there's NPCs, and they have loot, and then there's players, and they have loot, and it does a good job of like hiding who's a player and who is not a player, sort of thing. Like, you'll know after a couple of raids, you'll be like, okay, that guy's just standing still in the open. That's clearly not a player.
Is there any kind of dog tag system like Tarkov where you can
Yeah,
tell?
everyone has a ship's identity key, which is the same as dog tags. You can grab it off a guy and be like, okay, that was a player, and he was killed by X, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you know if you've killed a player. But there were a couple times where I was like, I just killed. I was like, I just killed a player. That's definitely a player. And then, you know, Swag would run over and be like, no key.
Yeah.
You know, you just killed a really hardy NPC.
Have you had the opposite?
Well, where we thought it was an NPC and it was a player. Yes,
Yeah.
we have actually. We rocked up to a space bar earlier, and there was a guy stood looking at the bar, and I killed him and didn't think anything of it. And then Swagger ran up to loot him and was like, "Oh, you that was a player. That was just a guy. I think he was looting something."
Yeah, he's just chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, he was minding his own business. So it's got that going for it. Another thing it has is that it's way more. It's not arcadey, but it's not like kick yourself in the balls. Tedious. No, not tedious is the wrong word. It's not micromanagey like Tarkov is. Like, where Tarkov you would get shot and you'd be like, okay, now I gotta stem the bleeding. I'll take some painkillers, so if I need to run, I can. Then I need to fix my broken leg because obviously bullets do that. And then I need to heal up or I've got to use a kit to, you know, bring my leg back to life and stuff like that. It's none of that. It's just it's like this gun takes 9mm, and you'll have a little box of 9mm ammo. And if you get hurt, here's just like, eat a biscuit or something. You know, eat a Snickers and you'll be back to full health, sort of thing. And it just means you spend more time listening for people and shooting people and playing the game more than you spend inventory management and things like that. Like, valuables are very obviously what you need to keep. What you need to keep is very obvious. What you can ditch is like, you know, oh, I've got too much of this ammo, I don't need that, sort of thing. And it just makes the game flow a whole lot better.
Yeah,
like,
I still think a lot about. I've just recently gone back and tried Tarkov again.
Yeah.
And every time I wrestle with that game's like healing or UI or bullets and reloading a gun, I'm like, I'm weighing up in my own head, like, is this realistic? Like it's realistic, obviously, whatever, but like, is this shit design? Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's like you can have realism in your game. Obviously, that's fine. That's sort of what they're going for. But it feels like where Tarkov is at the moment, the realistic parts are only there when they're really annoying.
Yes.
And like, in the way, sort of thing. Like, it's like your guy has a thirst meter, right? And it's like, why do I have to chug a liter of apple juice every 5 minutes, or my guy literally parches himself to death? It's like, that's okay. It's realistic. My guy has to drink, but why does he have to drink that much? That's not fun.
Yeah, well, it's stuff like that, and it's just like the movement in Tarkov is like, it's really weighty. Like, you run around and you slug around and you're throwing your weight around. And whenever you read anything, it's like, it's realistic. I'm like, this feels like shit. Like, I think I hate this.
And this is like a nice arcadey middle ground where I feel it feels good to play. It still feels quite. I think it feels satisfying. Like, the shooting feels really good. If you said this was from like industry vet or something, I would be like, yeah, all right, I believe it. It's got some like quirks to it. There's definitely like I was using a shotgun earlier, and that was like, oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
This leans on the useless side of video game shotguns for sure. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying it in a way I never Tarkov, I never got over the phase of like, I guess I'm buying the shitty bolt action rifle again because I can't risk taking in anything
Yeah.
more because I just died to the first player I encounter. And there was definitely some of that. Like we ran into squads of people where it's like in the distance you see a guy running in Tarkov or something, you're like, I'm staying out. That guy is geared as fuck. I'm staying out of his way.
Absolutely not.
And there's like me and Swag, we ran into a couple people like that where the guy is like, oh, I'm dead. Okay, good. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That guy knows what he's doing.
There will always be people like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And especially I think because the player base isn't massive right now, right? So it's like more likely you're going to get one of the turbo nerds that has mapped all the maps out already and stuff like that.
You're going to be that guy when the Game Pass version launches. You know that, right?
Oh my god, yeah. I'm gonna be the Chad. Yeah.
There's a guy just like running into a wall. Like, can I go this way? As you're just running around, just doming babies.
yeah. But there was like, but we were giving as good as we got. There was a couple times where we would run up on squads like bigger than ours because it's like up to 4 and it was just the 2 of us, and we would like, it's like, oh, I think I hear a third guy. We've just killed his 2 teammates, but there's another guy coming. I can hear it, and he's mad. And I don't know. It's just really promising, that game. The sound is really good. Like it doesn't have. It's all interior spaceships, right? Which is sort of cheating, right? Because it's like all they need is footsteps. And I was going to say
stuff.
It's like
feet on metal.
They've nailed feet on metal on gantry.
Clink, 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 clink.
But it's like, but I think of something like, I think of like something like Tarkov, where I'm always confused about where gunshots are coming from. Right? They sound like they're in the next room and the next town over all at once somehow in that game. And that one was like, no, within 2 or 3 raids, I was like, right, that guy's got. I might not know the gun, but I'm like, right, there's a machine gun like 2 rooms over or something, and I can hear the guy sprinting around and that. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really good. I was shocked because I was so nervous because Tarkov on paper it ticks all the boxes for a game that I should love, right? It's like it's a good shooter, it's got the RPG stuff, it's got the loot, and I just can't get on with it. And this game, I was like, what if it's the same? But I can't stop playing. I want to go play it again.
Yeah, I keep revisiting Tarkov, like just in case it suddenly clicks this time that I play. The biggest problem that I still have with it is every time I play, as someone that hasn't ever really gotten very far in it, I load into a map, do some scav runs, do some PMC runs, and then I just sit there thinking, what the fuck do I actually do?
Yeah.
Like what is my goal here? What is my purpose? And it's just, I know there's like quest systems, but it's like there's 10 maps on Tarkov, and you can go to most of them straight away. And it's just like, what do I do? There's so much stuff to pick up. There's so many places you can randomly go to, and then also whilst you're doing that, like you say, you're under constant threat of just a guy is just going to kill you. If you sit still for like 2 seconds, or at least that's how it feels.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying Marauders, and I'm glad there's good competition. I really don't like the aesthetic of this game.
Oh, see, I think that's my favorite part. Is I don't click with like Russian alleyway, but I love space diesel punk with these like horrifically like analog ships in a sort of in the middle of nowhere. It's great.
I don't dislike it. It just doesn't do anything for me at all. I'm just like, every room is just like a grey room with tanks in it and stairs and.
But I'd say like, because I don't know about you, but the Hunt aesthetic did nothing for me, right? Before we started playing Hunt, and then there's only once playing it, I was like, I actually think Cowboys and Zombies. I think actually I kind of like this. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you might get the same thing, but it's early. I would forgive anyone if they just want to wait on another early access.
I'll be waiting.
Multiplayer only game. Yeah.
You talk about how it's nice to have like an arcadey middle ground to these sorts of games. I'm just sitting here, just crossing my fingers, going, please let DMZ be good for Call of Duty. Just that could be such a cool little middle ground.
Yeah, maybe.
But
It's got a dedicated last best thing. It's got a dedicated. It doesn't have VoIP. That's something they're planning to add, but it has a dedicated "fuck you" button.
I
where
love that. Yeah.
You press F1 and your guy goes "fuck you," and then you mash F1 and your guy goes "fuck you." And it's like all muffled behind the gas mask, and it's fucking hilarious.
I was
every
out
time.
until you said that. Now I'm fully in.
It's great.
I'm
'Cause,
buying it right now.
Because there's you can use it in two ways, right? What you do is you hear steps coming, so you just mash F "fuck you" like a challenge, or you kill a guy and then you just stand over his corpse and go, "Hey, fuck you."
That's also that's an unironic, really good way if you're playing in multiplayer. So you could be like, "Is that you? Is that you over there? Is that you?" And then the guy just shouts out, "Fuck you."
Yeah, me and Swagger were just cruising around this morning, and he'd be like, I'm shouting," and we'd be just clearing rooms, "I'm on your left, fuck you." I see you, yeah, I see you. Okay, I'm breaching the door, fuck you.
That's so good.
I have to ask. You kept talking about a Spanus.
Oh, so the extractions are just these giant wormholes, and people have named them space anuses. So Spanus.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to double.
That's it.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
what he was
There's no more than that. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on from that then. Like I said, I'm going to check this out when it comes out on Game Pass. I think I'm not in a rush for this right now, but
that's fair.
When it's got a few it's going to be years away, right? Surely before it gets proper 1.0.
I thought it was day and date, but then they were like, no, we're not bothering with early access on Game Pass, which I can respect.
Well, Game Pass does do early access. They do have that.
It does.
Yeah.
But I feel like they don't. There's no, like in Steam where it's we need these commitments from you to do early access. I feel like Game Pass is just yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, never want to update it. You're fine. Whatever.
Yeah. All right, we'll do. I think we'll do my one next because you had quite a few, didn't you, Steve? Because you were doing Next Fest. We'll wrap up your one all in one go. My game that I've played this week is one that has been mentioned on the podcast before, so I won't go crazy in depth. But I actually got around to playing Stray this week, which
Overhyped.
Oh yeah,
for anyone that remembers, is the cat game developed by Annapurna. Find the Steam page for it quick. So the reason I didn't play this straight away on launch was because I think when it came out it was 25, 30 quid. And again, I know you can't put a value of a game in hours or whatever, but it was 4 or 5 hours long.
But you kind of can.
You kind of can a little bit.
It's personal, but you definitely can.
So I was like, I'm going to skip this for now and come back to it. And I did. Again, I've said before that I rent a lot of games. This game has just gotten a disc release, which means I can rent it. So I've played it on PS5. And I did it from talking about duration. I did it in one sitting, from start to finish.
Nice.
It took me just under 4 hours, which I think is on the faster side compared to some people.
Yeah, was that a completionist or a speed run?
That was just I can go around as a cat gawking at this semi-open world bit for a while, or I can just move on, and I would just move on. This game is okay. It's one of those things where it's a decent experience, but I don't think it's a very good game.
Yeah.
It is. So I think it kind of sells itself as an adventure / platformer game. But it's one of those games where in terms of platforming, you can walk up to an edge and you won't fall off. And you press X to just contextually jump to the nearest platform. So it's it's a platformer by the loosest of terms, basically. But yeah, so you're yeah. What did you say?
It's starting to sound like Uncharted.
So that's the thing, which is it's funny you mentioned that because I had a similar thought, which is it's very comparable to the early Uncharted games, Uncharted 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Where towards the later Uncharted games, 3 and 4, they started actually doing rope grapple swings and actual platforming. Because I think they kind of established that this is going up a cliff and just mashing X isn't actually that much fun.
Yeah.
You know,
If you just follow the path that we set for you. It's like, what's even the point of this?
Yeah. Like at the time when it came out, it's like, whoa, look at these graphics of Nathan Drake climbing a cliff. But it's like, it's like we get it now. But I think I would actually call this game. It's like a really elaborate walking simulator, and that's not. I don't mean that in a bad way, because that is a genre, right? There is a genre of games where you just.
I think it's used pejoratively, but yeah, it is a legit genre.
Yeah, you walk around and you take in the atmosphere and the story, and then you come away with an experience. But yeah, so you go through this really cool cyberpunk world, and the world is brilliant. It looks amazing, and you have all these. It's like it's underground, and the world above ground is all like fine. It's been like a disease or like a plague, and everyone moved underground, and all these robots are left. And as you go around, you see all these streets that used to have people in them, but then the people have died off, and you've just got these like AI left. And it just looks really nice. It looks really good. But I think like the look and aesthetic of it is probably the only reason they're able to charge as much for this game as they did. Which sounds kind of mean, but the game itself is just too. I found it way too simple. It's like I say, you're mashing X to go through really light platforming parts. There's a few puzzles here and there. You get like a special flashlight a couple hours in to kill some of the enemies that attack you, and then I think it takes it away from you about 20 minutes after you get it, and you never get it back. And it's like, what? It's like I get why you were given it, because like contextually or whatever, but it's like the game is so short that you literally have it for like 15, 20 minutes. It's crazy. And I think on like a really deep sale, maybe like if you could get it for like say 5 to 10, I think it'd be really, really worth checking out. But
be on Game Pass.
But for full price, I don't know. And I feel like I'm the only one that's kind of saying this opinion as well, because I know it is opinion, but it's like if you look online, I almost feel like I'm wrong. It's like everyone loves it.
I understand what you're saying.
It's because it was as I said, I think it's overhyped because it's a cat, and people are like, oh my god, the cat does what cats do in real life.
Reddit went fucking nuts.
Yeah, so that's why I think like this is overhyped, because people are excited about cats.
Yeah. Well, it's like the whole like cat thing. There are certain contextual walls or stuff where you can scratch your claws against it, and you do it. For me personally, I did it like twice, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, it's like cat things.
Are you a cat person, Josh? Are you a big fan of cats?
I am neither a cat person nor not a cat. It's just they're cool. I like cats. Cats are cute.
You're like indifferent. Yeah.
This is what I mean, though, where I just felt like my opinion was really. I haven't had this in a while. My opinion feels really against the grain, where people came away from this thinking like that was brilliant. The story was amazing. The cat stuff was awesome, and I was just like, yeah, it was all right.
My thing with this game is that I think the developers are very stupid because they have not released DLC or skins of every different type of cat, because people would buy the skin to get their cat in the game.
Well, why isn't it a cat designer? Why can't you make your own cat?
Yeah, there's no reason for the cat you play as to specifically be the way it looks.
I was going to say, is it lore? You know, there's story reasons it has to be a ginger tabby.
You're a ginger tabby cat, and it doesn't affect the plot in any way, I can tell you.
Because you know that if you could have like your specific cat in the game, people would bust in that.
That's like that'd be really good, like free DLC. Just custom cat
maker.
Maker.
Yeah.
Hasn't got to be like elaborate. Just like just change the cat a little bit if you really want to.
Or just let the modders go to work, and you'll have like what's that GTA person that they mod into everything?
Oh, CJ.
That one, him.
Yeah.
Oh,
here we go again. But yeah, it's just like I said, I've got nothing else to really say about it. Really, I think like I say, people say it's like there's platforming, but there's not really a lot of platforming, and people say there's combat, but there's not really a lot of combat. It's just go from A to B whilst your robot remembers more of the world that you go through until there's a little tiny twist at the end, and then it ends.
So it's So it's kind of just like it's more like an experience,
It is,
right?
yeah,
It's not
100%.
Really a game.
It is an experience, yeah. But it depends on. Like, I think it's kind of like, I don't know if I've just played too many of these types of games, where it's just like I can see certain story beats before they even happen.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I think I might have just like. Just played too many of these sorts of games, maybe.
Just over it, yeah.
But
and you're not a cat person, so you can't even fall back on that. Like,
yeah, I kind of went into this with like a mindset as well of like, I'm gonna like try and enjoy it, but I'm just gonna like just bust this out really quick.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's like you can dive really deep into certain lore stuff by showing every single robot AI, every single item in your inventory, like an adventure game, to get unique dialogue. But I'm just like, I'm not really into it that much to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I say, final words: if you can pick it up on a deep discount, check it out. You might get more out of it than I did. But at 25 quid, I think it is full price. It's a pass from me, unfortunately.
Does it have a fuck you button?
Does not have a dedicated fuck you button. It has a dedicated meow button though.
So that might be it.
Yes. Yeah. You press circle to meow, which I didn't realize how much I was doing it until I got a trophy pop up about 10 minutes in saying meow 100 times. I was like, oh yeah, my cat does talk a lot. that's kind of cool. I like that stuff. But yeah, that's my game for the week. I'm glad I finally at least played it. I wanted to play it for a while, so I'm glad I got around to doing it. So we'll go on to Steve then. What have you been doing this week, Steve?
Hello, I have been a busy bee this week.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about Visage because I've done a third of that game. That game is scary, but I'll save that for a future week when I've like finished more of the game.
Yeah.
But I've been playing a lot of the Steam Next Game Fest demos or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I've played 5 games. I won't be into super depth because like they are very short demos for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
The first one that I played, well, not the first one, but the one that like left the least impression on me was Cassette Beasts.
Yeah.
This is
I've heard of that one.
Pokemon clone.
I've heard of this as well, yeah.
Yeah, but like instead of like Pokeballs and stuff, you transform into the beast, and it's all based on like a retro cassette player tape. It's very, if you've played a Pokemon type of game, it's you know what you're getting into.
Oh no, HD 2D.
It's got its cute art style. The like main mechanics of this is the catching mechanic is different, where you like kind of like record the opponent, and it's like not like you have to get it low and then catch it. It's like no, you start, one of your characters starts recording, and the other one has to like make sure that like they don't take enough damage or they do enough damage or stuff. But yeah, this one was it's kind of just a Pokemon clone. The beasts can also fuse as well, because it's like you're in a party of 2 always. But yeah, this one left the least amount of an impression on me.
God, it's just, every single game that isn't Pokemon makes you realize how not shit. That's mean. How Pokemon is way better than you think it is at designing monsters.
yeah.
I was going to call this like, I was about to say this is shit. It's not shit. It's fine.
This is more, the story is it's like, oh, you wake up on this island, and apparently it's like you're not in Earth anymore, and everyone's from like different realms, and that's why there's like weird monsters that can like summon traffic lights.
Yeah.
And you're using
traffic lights.
What's the best cassette beast starter, Steve?
There was only a choice of 2. It was like, do you want to start with a spooky starter or a sweet starter? And I chose the spooky one, and it gave me like some sort of pig sheep, I think. But yeah, and you didn't get to see the other one if you don't.
That does
pick
it. Doesn't sound very iconic.
The monsters aren't that iconic. They're like the least focus of it, but it was okay. Again, but it's probably something I would pass on. I've been looking at this for a while, but yeah, it's
This is your jam. You love this shit.
there's so many Pokemon type clones out there that I'm just like, yeah.
Why is it so hard to make good Pokemon? Why? I feel like I've not, even I dabbled in playing Temtem, right? And I still feel like I'm like, I don't care
Temtem has
about
a
any of
few
these.
couple ones, but yeah,
I feel like
it's,
what people don't always realize with Pokemon is Pokemon has like a dedicated art style where you
Yes.
don't always
Yeah.
realize it, but everything flows and fits together really nicely. When you look at two Pokemon next to each other, they don't look like odd or different. They look like
Yeah.
Pokemon. Whereas if I say like this screenshot, for example, look at this thing, this like cyber wolf thing,
Mhm.
and then look at this weird dog thing with an afro.
Yeah,
It's like they like
I see what you're saying.
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
there's no flow. I don't know. It's just like say explain to me creature design, right? It's like, well, it's a whole fucking massive thing.
I guess. I guess.
It's
Yeah.
like good design you won't notice because it's just good design. You don't even question it. It's like good and bad UI. You only notice bad UI, but you'll never recognize good UI
Yeah.
unless you're
Yeah.
playing Persona.
I was gonna say Persona 5. Yeah.
Uh,
Apart from Persona
Yeah,
5.
but it's like, you pick the best UI design
Yes.
in the past, like
Yeah, yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll notice it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, very charming pixel art, I think, for this one.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the actual pixel art. It's like I said, it's just
Yeah.
it's always a design thing. It's like the same with Temtem, where on paper Temtem is fine, but it's just they're not good designs in my opinion. They look weird. I don't know,
There are a couple ones which I'm like because I've played like that game 6-7 times now. That I'm like, oh, it's kind of iconic for me.
Yeah.
But
Well, Temtem is the best
Yeah.
like attempt at it, I think,
Yes.
outside of Pokemon. You got to give credit when credit is due. Temtem's not perfect, but it's the best non-Pokemon attempt outside of
the
like
one
Digimon.
Better than Digimon?
No, outside. I said outside. Digimon is way better.
Digimon is a massive franchise though now. Temtem
Yes,
is
yeah.
the only like small one that started up and actually has
Yeah.
stood a chance.
Yeah, Temtem is the only game like this in recent memory that will probably get a sequel.
Other than like Ni no Kuni, but that was a bit of an outlier because it's Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
What about Persona again? What about the
Oh,
What are they
Shin
in
Megami
Persona?
Tensei?
SMT.
What are they? Yeah. What are they called? The like
Oh, Sam would know, right?
Arcana?
They're just called demons, I think. They're just demons.
yeah, you just
Are they just
gather
demons?
demons.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that one was. Oh, sorry, what?
I was just gonna say that it's a little bit weirder when it comes to Persona, because you have your main characters.
Yeah, or,
There are other
yeah,
SMT
that's true,
games you
that's
play.
true.
and it's also one of those things as well. It's almost like it's the Pokemon and Monster Hunter problem where it's like Shin Megami Tensei and all their monsters look really cool, but again they've also been around for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
But yeah, the next one that I'll go in like order of like ones that left impressions on me. It's called Undecember, all one word.
December the month.
Undecember, yeah. This one it's kind of Diablo-y, kind of Lost Arky. It kind of like the demo again. It's a demo, so it's hard to tell like how much it throws you in. But this game is. It feels like playing Diablo, but with Lost Ark elements, but not as bad as Lost Ark. For like, you have a menu every 2 seconds, and there's a pop-up and daily quests.
Is this indie?
I'm not sure.
It looks like graphically, it looks really nice. I thought it was all going to be like indie stuff that you were going to be talking about. This just looks really nice.
Oh no, there was Lego was in this.
Oh right,
That's cheating.
Yeah. But this game, it's you play as a single character. There's no classes, and you have like you'll get weapons, and you kind of customize your character a lot. Like there's like it's like if you've played Diablo or you've played Lost Ark, you kind of get the combat.
yeah.
And there's like as you're playing through, you get skills, and you get to like the first couple quests in the demo, you got to like choose a skill to pick, and then from that, there's like a skill, like a hexagon thing where you can put the skill in and then add elements to it.
Right.
It felt okay, but it felt just kind of like Lost Ark, but more single player. There is like 8-man raids in this, and like when I did like the first section and I got like to a town and there were other players and I was like on a Europe server. But yeah, this one was okay. It was just like, it just feels like another Diablo Lost Arky top down.
I'm looking more into it. It's like developed by Needs Games, who have nothing else on Steam, published by Line Games, who have nothing else on Steam. I'm just like, it looks. Is it okay? It is Line, as in the social media messaging app. That's why it looks as good as it does. It's because
yeah. I was gonna say it. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, do you guys get like suspicious when you see games that come out that are like, oh, it's just Diablo, but but free to play, and I'm like, what's the catch? What are you doing here? What's happened here?
I don't know. I didn't see like any demo, so I don't know how like aggressive monetization will be or whatnot. To me though, I can play these games, but this one didn't feel like anything really gripped me. Like, so I was like, it's just another one of these types of games.
Yeah.
Like, not one I'm going to pick up, but I was like, I was glad to have tried it. The next game that I played is called Asterigos, which is
some really easy to pronounce games.
That one, yeah. It is I would say it says it's a Dark Souls like in the title, but I would say it's kind of like baby's first Dark Souls in a way. It's not like super easy, but it's very like it feels like what's that Ubisoft game?
I was going to say this looks like Phoenix Rise of whatever it's called, the Ubisoft game.
Oh yeah, Phoenix Rise from the Ashes or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's kind of like got that Greeky style to it. You get like very like this girl I think has like she starts off with 2 weapons, but very quickly you gain like 3 more. It's like you start off with like a sword and shield, hammer, and then you get like daggers, a lance, and something else. It kind of feels just like a bit Dark Soulsy, but a bit more easier. It's again it stylized. It was great. The bosses were like the first boss was very easy. The second boss like I didn't finish, but I was like I feel like I've got out of this game what I'm gonna get. There's like you get 3 different skills which you can slot in, and it just felt okay to me.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Yeah. I was like, I wanted to try because this was like the second or third highest up in the promising upcoming list.
It looks neat. I like the style.
Yeah, it looked neat. Again, it's today's the last day of Next Fest, so you can't you don't have much time to try it if you wanted to try this. But spoiler alert, this game is out tomorrow. So
oh, okay.
But the next game that I played that I enjoyed was From Space. This one is multiplayer as well. I played this with 2 friends. It is kind of top down, like not Diablo-y, but I'm not sure. It's like a certain type of game, but I can't remember what it's called.
XCOM.
Not XCOM because it's you just walk around and it's a shooter. You kind
of
like
twin stick
twin stick shooter, but like you have like 3 friends, and it's kind of just like silly fun. You get to pick up different guns. There are 4 different classes. I played it with 2 friends and we just did it. It was a lot of fun.
I love the colors.
The aliens designs are a bit weird because it's just like pink boxes.
Yeah. With choo-choo rocket mouths.
Yeah. With this one though, there's 4 different classes, although the classes I don't think do much. And you are limited by ammo. So there are like ammo pickups from enemies and around the world. So you can't just like be super safe. The interesting thing about this one though is that as you like loot item chests, you can get like traps and gadgets. So you can put down you can pick up like auto turrets and spike traps and dome shields and stuff. And it was a lot of fun to just muck around with friends.
Yeah. Do you think it's got like legs? Was it like too simple?
I would say it's got legs if it's cheaper or on Game Pass.
Yeah. If I can get it
Does
for
it-
free.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely like a game where you could be like, oh, I'm just gonna, if you've got a few friends and it's cheap enough or it's on Game Pass,
Yeah.
definitely worth a recommend. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, like the demo was very short for this one, so you kind of only do one level, but the creature variety was like it kind of slowly introduced creatures to you, and as you found like a new one, it would do like a splash screen of like, oh, you found the spitter or something, or you found the smasher.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely wasn't face roll easy, but it also wasn't super difficult from the demo. But again, that's just a small portion of the game. And the last game I played was Wild Frost, which I think is mostly going to appeal to Sam.
Yeah, I've seen you talk about this a few times. People being like, play
Yeah.
Wild Frost, check out Wild Frost.
Wild Frost is a card game like Slay the Spire. I believe I've never played Slay the Spire. This
Oh,
the
you
art
should. It's
style-
on Game Pass as well. It's a great
Yeah.
game, Slay the Spire. If you like this.
This game, yeah, but this game,
This,
the art style sells me on it. It's so cute, the art style.
I get a
it-
bit more Guild of Dungeoneering vibes from
A
this.
little
to
bit
be
of gilded
honest.
engineering as well. Yes, fully agree. This is you start when you start. You pick one hero for your round, and it's one of 3 heroes, and it's randomized every time. And there are 2 lanes, and as you go through, you can get 4 more characters. I believe 3 or 4 more characters per run, and then if you get any more, you have to kind of switch one out. And yeah, it's just very charming. It's like you have 2 lanes, and you kind of got to protect your main hero. That's the main goal of it, is to
Right.
make sure your main hero doesn't die. And every battle, it will summon in a bunch of weak adds until you want the boss to appear. And when you kill the boss, it's like that match is over. You've won.
Does your hero card keep the same amount of life in between rounds?
It does, and even your followers, they keep the same amount of life.
Right,
So
okay.
trying to keep them healthy is important. And as you're going through, you can get different power up cards, and but your decks, unlike other games of similar ilk, it's your deck size remains the same. So if you're getting new cards, you're taking out older, your other cards to fit these in, and you can kind of pick and choose in between rounds. And the nice thing about this is there's also it's almost like weapon charms, but they're card charms. So you can kind of enchant a card to give it an extra effect or whatnot. It was very cute. Bluntcast actually streamed this yesterday, and it's very difficult. Not sure if the demo was just a bit over. Well, I say overtuned.
These games are always too difficult until all of a sudden you do a run and it's the fucking easiest shit in the world because you
Yeah,
just
yes.
get the god RNG combined with suddenly
Yeah.
something dings
Yeah.
in your brain. You're like, oh, I can do this and this and I'm invincible.
And there is there's a town outpost where you unlock new cards by doing quests. It will be recall 3 monsters or shuffle your hand 10 times and you
Yeah.
unlock a new thing. So it does get easier over time,
Yeah.
I believe. But yeah, this one was very charming, and this one's actually done very well to the point where they have extended the demo for this for 2 more days. So if you want to
Sick.
play it, now's your chance.
I am. That does look good.
It looks really good and the art is really nice. I also feel like I've played this already. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
through Slay the Spire, Monster Train, all those
Yeah.
sorts of
If
games.
I was gonna say, if you cannot wait for this to come out, Dicey Dungeon is
Dicey
is
Dungeon
on
I've played,
Steam,
yeah.
and that's very good.
What's the other one? What's the
Mon-
what's the one with the creepy big yellow bird and it's all it's on Game Pass. You streamed it,
Sesame
Will.
Street?
What was that, Steve?
Sesame Street?
No. What is it, Will? You streamed it.
Inscription?
Big Yellow Bird, and I streamed it.
It's not Inscription, is it?
No, it's not Inscription. It's got the main logo. It's the main logo is like a big creepy yellow bird thing.
Oh, fuck me!
Yeah, you see it. You
Oh,
see it. You see it.
no. Why have you done this to me?
There's but
Ring of Pain.
Ring of Pain. Ring of Pain. That is it. Ring of Pain.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think.
Hmm.
Hang on. Ring of Pain game. I'm pretty sure it is. It's Ring of Pain.
Okay, I'm glad.
Look, I'm not going crazy. Big creepy yellow bird.
Big creepy bird. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
Oh yeah, I remember
yeah.
Will
That
streaming
game was
this.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. But
We
this one,
completed that. I have a weird knack of whenever I play these games off stream, and I'm like, these games are balls fucking hard. I don't know how to beat this, and then I'll do it once on stream and be like, okay, yeah, I don't know how far we'll get because this game's really hard, and then I'll just in one shot I will just finish the whole game, and I'll be like, okay, don't know what I did there, but
streamer luck, streamer loot.
Streamer loot. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the thing that sells me the most on this game is the art style. It is like so adorable.
Yeah, look how adorable
Very
the yellow
nice.
bird is.
Not
Very
that,
nice.
not Ring of Pain. I'm talking about Wild Frost, but yeah. And yeah, that's 5 demos that I looked at. There was surprisingly more NSFW games in this Steam Next Fest than I was expecting.
Something season 1 or episode 1 or something. That's what they're all called now, isn't it?
Yeah, there were a couple other games that were like up on the popularity, but I was like, these do not appeal to me. So
Ring of Pain season 1.
That's
a whole different meaning.
There were a couple games that had milk in the title that were NSFW.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, because I went on. I did what I clicked on Steam Next Fest, and I clicked on one of the top ones, and it was this like fighting game.
Yes,
and
I saw that.
Did you see?
It's
I clicked it, and you click through it, and it's like all normal. It's like a first-person boxing game or something. And I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of neat." And then the last screenshot is just full-on 2 characters having sex.
Yeah, it's
like complete nudity. You can see everything.
It's a Street Fighter parody, and the idea is that you're fighting women to beat their clothes off.
Yeah,
that sounds a bit sus.
And then at the end, it's just Ryu effing someone, like Billy standing up to attention, you know.
It's so fun. It is so fun. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, maybe I should tell Josh about this. He might be. Oh, okay.
So did I. I thought I should tell.
Not sure about this Street Fighter 6 beta, Capcom. You've really changed up the gameplay. Oh, fuck me. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I feel like this Steam Next Fest, I did have a quick look, and nothing grabbed me like the last Steam Next Fest. I was like, every single one in the future, I'm always going to look it up because I found so much cool stuff. And this one I went through, and I was like, there's not a lot here that I actually really care for.
Wild Frost, I've been following for a while because I follow Chucklefish because I'm waiting for Witchbrook to come out. So I was like, oh, this does actually look really cute. And then I played From Space with friends because they were like, oh, let's play it. And then I was like, oh, well, I've played 2. Might as well have a look and see if there's any other games to play.
Yeah.
So I played 3 more games today.
Sick. We'll move on from this because time is a passing. But that's cool. That's all we played for the week. So we'll move on to some news stuff. We have a question first, though. I've thought about this question a bit, and
I've struggled with this.
Yeah, I have struggled with this one, but we'll see what we can come up with.
Oh,
it's basically it's from Korn. It's what items do you drop when you're defeated?
When I die, I'm gonna drop a new album, Beats by Steve.
That's what the guy that drops you will be playing. Beats Steve. But I interpret this like one of 2 ways, which is just like what defines you. I guess is one way to think of it, and it's just like, oh, what represents you? What would be there? The other way is just of interpreting it. It's just like, if I get beaten on the street tomorrow, what do I drop from my literal person?
I did the same thing where I was like, haha, I drop a hoodie, and then I was like, I would drop, I don't know, dry wit. I'm like, oh god, who am I? What do I leave behind?
Thanks for the existential crisis, because now I realise that I have nothing to stand for.
I have nothing to offer.
I would drop my keys, my wallet, my phone, and my headphones.
Yeah.
And if I've got my backpack on me, I'll drop, I don't know, a few more like
sweaty gym gear.
Yeah, sweaty gym gear, and some receipts that are just sitting at the bottom of my bag.
I asked, so I was the same. I couldn't really think of anything, so I pitched this one to Erin, and I said, Erin, what would I drop when I die? And she said, a really small, cute, but really ugly dog.
Thanks.
And I was like, yeah. But so there you go. I guess like in WoW, some bosses would drop like mini pets. I guess that's what I
Yeah.
drop some kind of small pug when you kill me, when
Yeah.
you beat me up.
I guess I don't know what I dropped. Sam, what would you drop?
My response to this was my Steam library.
Oh, that's a good one.
What have I got?
That's a good rare drop. That's a good pickup.
Yeah.
I assume there's a lot of stuff there, right?
Yeah, there is.
I'll drop my entire collection of PS3 and Xbox 360 games, which I have a lot of.
I think I would drop like some imp wings and maybe an imp tail.
An imp tail seems like a generic like World of Warcraft monster drop, right? Like if you killed an imp, it would drop like an imp tail.
And a magic whip, of course.
Oh, it's all sticky.
That could have been much worse. You should thank me for just limiting it to
Thanks, Steve. Will just had like an epiphany. What did you?
Okay, I would drop my PSA 10 Emrakul the Aeon's Torn from the original Zendikar set of Magic in a box topper. Sealed.
I know.
There you go.
I know what I'm looking for and stealing next time I come around now. The rarest item. I tell you what, I'll drop. I have somewhere. I have my DJ Hero 2 Dex controller, and I have all like the drum kit and stuff. You can have all that if I die. I'll drop all that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll move on from that then. That's a good little question. Like we said, really struggled for that one.
I did. I really did.
Well, it's like you either answer like a meme answer or a fancy answer or just a real answer. It's like,
yeah,
there's only so many ways you can go with it.
I dropped my mobile phone. Next. Yeah, if you got any, if you want to submit any questions, as always, you can send them into the email, which is thegameforecast@gmail.com, or you can just post them on Discord, or you can leave them as a comment on the YouTube video. Thank you, Corn, for the question. We'll move on to some news. First news story for the week we have. It's been the launch of Overwatch 2 this week.
Yes.
Overwatch 2 is out. Overwatch 1 is dead. You cannot play Overwatch 1.
You can. It's just a patch.
No, shut up, Steve. You can't say that. And so Overwatch 1 is completely migrated into Overwatch 2. It's had a pretty rough launch. There was a whole bunch of, they were saying, I'm not gonna say supposedly because that's like tinfoil hat. It's been like DDoSed. Whether or not that's just people trying to get in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was like every like AAA game and launch is like we're being DDoSed, and it's like, but are you, or is it just your game is popular?
It's just like have devs figured out it's the ultimate defense to any criticism.
Yeah,
if you're like, the game doesn't work, and it's like, oh, we're being DDoSed. It's like, who?
But then for Blizzard, because they've got such a bad rep at the moment, I could actually see them someone being like, oh, fuck them, I'm gonna DDoS them.
Yeah, it wasn't like didn't Final Fantasy 14 on Shadowbringers launch get DDoSed as well?
Yes.
It was also that they had to stop selling the game because it was too popular.
Yeah, but they were saying like, I think they came out and said like, look, we're going to stop selling the game because queues are like 6 hours long, plus we're being DDoSed, and people were just getting like booted out of the queue 4 hours in. But anyway, back to Overwatch. So you had that, and there was also some stuff with mobile phones as well. Did anyone hear about this?
I only heard about them disabling it after they did it, but I already had my mobile phone attached for the COD beta, so I was like, they've already got my phone number.
So it's quite common for a lot of free-to-play games to have authentication via a mobile phone number because it proves you're, a real human being.
Yeah.
And because it can be trickier to get multiple numbers, it stops you making smurfs, hacker accounts, etc., etc. So they had that, and then people were very upset about that because not everyone can afford mobile phones and stuff like that. And
it's because you couldn't. You needed a contract phone. You needed a contract number. You couldn't just buy a burner number from like one of those like prepaid whatever penny cards, and then you just get a number.
So people were saying
that locked a lot of people out.
Yeah, and it was locking out people that I believe had Battle.net accounts for a long time. Yeah, and all of a sudden they were like, we can't play.
Yeah,
Why-
and there was stuff with
Yeah.
people like moving country, and then they would use their number, and it would be like, this doesn't make sense to me. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna let you play Overwatch 2.
Yeah, it's just like you can't play Overwatch 2. You haven't got a mobile number. It's like my BattleNet account is like 11 years old.
Yeah,
like just let me in. So as Steve said, that's now been completely shut down. Well, not completely. I believe it's still running somewhat for newer accounts, but I think if you've what was it you told me this the other day, Steve? It was something like within the last couple of months.
If you've played Overwatch before, like in the last couple of months, basically I think if you played Overwatch 1, you don't need a mobile phone number anymore.
Yeah. So this has been that's the launch of Overwatch 2. I still feel like, memes aside and these problems and people's thoughts towards the game, I think it's been a pretty decent launch for the game.
I think people I feel like Josh is the perfect example for this.
Huh?
Before it comes out, he was me. I linked the trailer and he was like, "Oh, more like over my dead body."
Yeah,
And
that's a good joke, by the way.
And then everyone was kind of like, "Oh, no one's gonna play Overwatch." Then Overwatch 2 came out and people were like, "But Overwatch, should I give it a try?" They have a good first day. Second day, it's not so good. So they're like, I'm not playing Overwatch again. And then the third day, you're playing solo competitive for several hours.
Okay, so
and then the fourth day, you're playing solo competitive.
I have a reason for this. I have a reason for this.
Josh.
So so 4 play sessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
First one was just like, Overwatch 2. Check it out. What's going on? Had fun with that. Had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Again, for the reason where it's like, oh, Overwatch 2 is exactly the same as Overwatch 1. It's like, yeah, it's still kind of fun though. It's still Overwatch. It's like still good. So first session was that. Second session was when we streamed it. So 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
We did competitive for a bit, and that was awful. It was that was really not good. And then the last 2 sessions that I've done, quote unquote, solo. Laura, my partner, was big into Overwatch when I was, a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying she didn't want to play, but she just wanted to like see it. She was like, "Can you just play Overwatch for a bit, and I'll hang and I'll watch, and we'll just hang out." And that was those 2 sessions. We ended up playing for a long time. But yeah, I think my 3rd and 4th sessions when I played with Laura, they're not bad, but the end of those sessions was when it actually like came down to it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is just Overwatch. I have done this.
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
During, that time where we played together, all 3 of us, and we had we had other people in, and the most fun I had that whole day was when we were goofing off in the training mode, just chatting.
Yeah.
And when we were actually playing the game, I was having less fun than I did when we were just chatting.
Yeah. When those games are brutal, they are brutal.
Yeah. And it reminds me. Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, compared to other games, even if you're getting stomped, you do still have to focus. There is still like minute to minute stuff happening, so you can't just chill and hang, even when it's shit. Like if you play Hunt for a day and you have a shit day of Hunt, you can still talk about whatever in between bad matches. But with this, it's just like, oh well, I should at least try. To aim.
I've seen some Overwatch pros on Twitter be like, the MMR is busted at the moment because it's soft reset everybody's MMR. So apparently, like it's the wild west of especially in ranked.
Ghost Rider.
But yeah, it's some games you're fighting like brand new players. Sometimes you're fighting grandmasters. It's crazy. I think overall, I still enjoy Overwatch as like a casual game of friends. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't want to play competitive. It just takes the fun out of like this silly fun game. I will say, I think overall, like change-wise, I think the biggest thing is the removal of the second tank means that it's less, and also just a Risa shield as well, means that it's less, oh, you're hiding behind 2 shields that are constantly refreshing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more like fast action pace.
No, I
which
agree. It's
really
it's
enjoy.
way better for the game having tanks that are actually tanks.
Yeah.
Because from the games that I played, it felt like if you're not playing tank and your tank isn't actively like engaging and leading the way, you can't really do a whole lot unless one or two people are just popping off and getting insane kills. You
Yeah.
need the tank to get stuck in.
I don't
Yeah.
know, it felt so. Even after a couple days, I was like, this just feels so tired. We've done
Yeah.
we've done this before. There's not enough new
Yes.
in Overwatch
Yeah.
2 that I'm like, yeah, I'm back in. Like, I don't know, maybe this PvE is fabled PvE mode, right? When that launches, I'm like, maybe that's when I'll check it out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were playing. We booted it up. We started playing. We were on that one tower map that you play over and over again. The capture point one.
Yeah.
And I was
Mhm.
like, I've done this. I just don't. It's not just not grabbing me.
Yeah, it's like you say, where it's I booted it, and I get that it had to come out because it needed to start making some money in a world where Valorant is free to play and makes tons of money through battle passes, and the same with Call of Duty and Fortnite and da da da. They're obviously looking at it being like, we could just release this now and as an excuse to scrap old loot box monetization and start a modern take on monetization for this game. I get that they had to do it.
Which is worse.
Which is what. Yeah, I get that they had to do it, but fuck me, does this game need the PvE like really badly?
It needs something, right? I know. Yeah, like you said, like they had to put it out at some point because they've spent the last 4 years doing God knows what.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, I'm glad it's here. I hope they can recoup their money so they can make something actually new with it because. Yeah, Overwatch 2 is not it for me.
No.
Yeah, again, for me, it's like it's the new shiny that's free to play that everyone's kind of like, oh, do you want to play some? And it's just like casual fun, like get a couple of drinks and grab some friends and just play the casual mode, not competitive. And it's probably going to be like a fun
but then I think about that thing what Sam always says, where he's like, it's friend. Everything's fun with friends.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say, but this is like where it's because I play with a lot of different people, and it's like, oh, this is free to play and brand new, so it's a lot easier to grab everything. I don't think it's gonna be like a forever like party game or whatnot, but it's at the moment it's like that game of opportune time.
But I want I want it to be. I want the PvE to be awesome. I don't want to dislike Overwatch. Like. Again, it's easy to shit on these games, but Blizzard, when it does Blizzard well, is amazing games and content.
Incredible.
It's incredible.
I was gonna say I've been today ready for a stream on Wednesday. I've been looking at trailers and I've been watching like all the old Blizzard trailers and the nostalgia of like, oh, some of these were just like fantastic points in my life.
But you don't realize it, but Blizzard have dropped the ball so fucking hard.
Yeah. You know those videos that came out for Overwatch characters?
Yeah.
That fucking Reinhardt one almost had me crying.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my god. Like they can pump out the best quality stuff. And then they can just put out Diablo Immortal, and I'm like, both ends, mate, I guess.
You don't realize it because it happens over such a long period of time. But Blizzard have seriously dropped the ball so hard over the last like 5-6 years. Where it's just like I say, I just want this game to be great. And there was I think it was a video by a guy named Seagull. I think he's an esports guy, I don't know. Personality. It's just a summary video of just saying what was supposed to be in the PvE launch of Overwatch 2. And it's like, oh my god, I want to play this. Sounds awesome.
They were talking like Destiny-esque raids with their Overwatch characters, and I was like, oh, I want that.
It was whole like 3 different talent trees per character that fundamentally changed the way they play and the way their abilities work. There was one that he talked about, which was they had, Soldier 76 puts his healing on the floor for his teammates. That becomes like a toggle, so he becomes like a healing beacon.
Like a Lucio.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah.
And then it just moves with him.
I think like the way that they've done this now is probably smarter. Where get the PvP separate, because if they try to launch the PvP rebalance and the PvE, probably something would have got muddied. Now they can have like, because I think it's meant to be February it launches, right? The PvE. So now they've got like a good 3 to 4 months to like get everything PvP settled, and then they can focus on the PvE if that's like their gold standard and be like, yes, here we go. Like it's separate. We don't need to worry about like PvP balance, because at the moment there are a couple characters like Moira and Roadhog who are probably a bit too strong.
Well, I think that their aim going forward is the same as something like Call of Duty, where it's like, here's a battle pass. You can earn XP for it through Warzone, through multiplayer, through zombies. If there's a zombies match, just like, and that's what they want going forward. I think for Overwatch, it's obviously not apparent now.
Yeah.
But they want it to be like, here's a battle pass, a whole bunch of skins and stuff for it, and you get XP for it. If you like to play the PvE, you can get stuff that way. If you play the PvP, you can do it that way. Ultimately, we want Overwatch to be the game that you boot to get your either multiplayer or PvE fix, basically.
Yeah. But as Alex said it in chat, I looked at Battle Pass and the challenges the other day, and I thought I just can't be asked. And I think I'm with him. I think like I don't know if it's cumulative, but I think Overwatch 2, I booted it and saw the Battle Pass, and I was like, I just don't care. There's too many Battle Passes out that make you pick between them, and I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with any of them.
It's almost I was gonna say
that's a good thing though, right? If you don't want to.
Not for them.
Do it.
That's not what they want you to do.
Well, no, it's not for them. But like, it's good that you're not like, I feel like I need to play this for the Battle Pass. If you're like, I don't care about the Battle Pass.
Yeah, but he's on the border of like, there's so much I can't be bothered to even attempt to do.
Yeah, I don't want to boot a game and be like, again. I want to boot the game and just be like, remember Overwatch 1? You would just play and get stuff, and then that was nice.
Well,
I just like that.
It's ironic that Overwatch at the start was being not the pioneer, but one of the main hard hitters that fully introduced loot boxes into console gaming.
Yeah,
is now on the arse end of battle passes, and it's like the last one to arrive.
yeah. But it's weird because like, okay, I get it. We're getting rid of loot boxes. I understand that, but I feel like specifically Overwatch 1's loot boxes were like, just it was like tripping over itself to give you free stuff in that game, to give you stuff in that game. I never once felt pressured to put money into that game to grind for whatever skins.
Or the thing is,
the seasonal event stuff was a bit like, you got to get it in this limited time. So that felt a bit like that was the only time I was ever tempted. But yeah.
But besides that, it's like ironically, or not. It's not ironically. It's just comparing Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. I'm never going to defend loot boxes. It's like the better of two evils, right? But I came away with Overwatch 1. I think I dropped maybe like 20 quid into loot boxes in Overwatch 1 over the entire life of it. And I have so many legendary skins. Like I'm literally,
going back to it.
Yeah, I have so many. And the way Overwatch 2 is currently designed and set up, I will never have a brand new legendary skin.
Yeah.
If I drop 20 quid in that game, just to buy a skin, I could probably get like 2 or 3, or maybe like one proper legendary one. Or I could get the battle pass, which has quite a few, but comes with a caveat of you have to play a lot to get them.
There's also some weird edge cases where it's like 3 or 4 quid for a spray, and it's like, where they've gone straight from loot boxes to everything is paid for. You buy what you want.
Yeah.
And it's like, who is dropping money to buy sprays? Or like player icons, or
is that to
fuck with charms, or whatever?
Is that to really fuck the completionists?
Maybe.
Guess so, yeah.
Because there will be a handful of people that would have had everything from Overwatch 1, right? Or at least a high number of it. And now we're at that point where it's like, you want to carry that on? You gotta pay.
It's just really weird.
That is one thing, is the free currency that you get now is very hard to come by, and I'm surprised there's not more in the battle pass, especially if you get the paid battle pass. There's like no you get a bunch of gold to buy skins you want. It's like I've been playing. I was muggins. I bought the battle pass because I was like, I'm enjoying some of the stuff in it. and I've been playing quite a bit the last couple of days, and I think I'm only at like 200 of the free currency, which is barely anything.
Yeah.
So
It's like that's always the one thing for me that really stands out in a battle pass, where it's like if you don't give back at least the currency to buy the next one,
yeah,
it feels like
Yeah.
a bit of like all right, screw you then. Like
That almost feels like Fortnite flexing their like backing on everyone, right? Because no one can afford to be Fortnite, but Fortnite is so generous.
Oh, it's like-
when we did that, when me and Steve did that promotion, it was like we played for what, a couple days, and maybe a couple days after it was over, and I had enough money to buy left over from when we last played Fortnite to buy the new battle pass, and just by buying it, it gave me all that money back and some, and
Yeah.
like I barely played. It was insane.
it's like, as far as I'm concerned, like giving back the money to buy a battle pass is a no-brainer for a battle pass, because it's like if I
You
dedicate
keep those people.
if I dedicate 100+ hours to a battle pass to finish it, that's even like generous, probably like 150 hours, right? Over 2 months. If you give me that currency back, if I've just played the game for 150 hours, I'm gonna buy the next one.
Yeah.
And you've got me for another, 150 hours.
Mhm.
It always annoys me when they don't do that, because it just seems it's so obvious.
No-brainer.
Yeah, no brainer.
It seems short-sighted, because it's like, you might not be putting down 8 quid, 10 quid, whatever it is, but it's like now you are, especially when it comes to something like battle royales, it's like now you are the content almost,
Yeah.
because you are active in playing the game and you're grinding these passes and stuff. So it's like, and then the game looks much more populated to everyone else, and everyone has an easier time getting matches and stuff. So
Yeah,
I get what you mean. It feels like a no-brainer. Just give me that money back if I finish the battle pass. Let me get the next one. I'm still gonna be in your ecosystem. Like,
well, it's like we said before. We live in a time where your eyeballs on the product are worth more than any price of admission. To you actually being in there.
Yeah.
Like, getting a tenner from the battle pass for them is great. People actually playing the game is a lot more important than that tenner for the battle pass, considering how many games exist now.
Yeah, but then I think, like, how hard of a sell must that be to like higher ups, right? You're like, okay, we're gonna give them money, and they're like, excuse me?
Yeah, no, don't do that.
I think you misspoke there.
just charge them again. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna push us on from this. But that was I enjoyed that. Next news story we've got is, I'm gonna assume you saw this. This is quite big for the week.
Yeah.
This is the trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So, who here hasn't seen this?
I have
watched
not.
it. I was really drunk, but I watched it.
Okay.
There were so many people tweeting about it. I was like, I don't think I can bring myself to watch it.
I actually thought it was very good, other than
I think it looks
thought it was
awesome.
shit.
Yeah, you were drunk. Shut up. I think this looks really good. Obviously, the big talk of this whole trailer is the fact that Mario literally just sounds like Chris Pratt.
no, he sounds like Linda Belcher.
Oh, I saw that tweet that you posted, and that's awful. Why would you put that in my brain?
It's Linda Belcher.
What's the show called?
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. Yeah. This is the same studio that do the Minions movies, I think. Illumination, which is like her Minion movies, but they look really good, like animation and stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's very telling in this trailer that like it's like 80% Bowser, 10% Mario.
It makes me think like it's obviously like, again, like conspiracy stuff, but are they somewhat? Is that the least offensive Mario line in this trailer? You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
Like we need to get the public ready for the fact that he just sounds like Chris Pratt.
He's no longer Italian. He's from Brooklyn now.
I think Mario's from Brooklyn anyway, right? From whatever little Mario like lore there is, I think he's from the real world, and he just kind of falls into Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
But
It just annoyed me. Why does this exist? this feels like we've strayed so far from God. Why is there a Mario movie? Why is Chris Pratt in it?
It always
Why?
Mario these days is really.
I know why. It's money.
It's money. It's money, but
that doesn't justify its existence in my mind.
or you've got what is it? Super Nintendo World, Super Mario World, the actual theme park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all just somewhat like ties in, right? I think. I don't know. I think regardless, this is pretty big news. People were like looking forward to this for quite a while. Because they've been hyping this trailer. Oh, it's a Mario.
Who's looking forward to a Mario Bros movie?
Okay, I am. Will. All right, you happy? You got it from me. But yeah,
I don't. It looks like Mario's worth a lot of money. Let's make a Mario movie. Who's in it? Who cares? Who's popular? Chris Pratt. Put him in.
Jack
He's
Black
not
as
busy.
Bowser.
All right, Jack Black as Bowser was the one.
Charlie Day as
Charlie Day. We didn't
Luigi.
hear, did we?
You get at the end, you get a little bit of his like.
No.
So, and he does sound like Charlie. You were drunk. You told me this.
but not drunk enough. If I was drunk, I should have liked it more, not less.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh, the Mario movie. Oh, sick.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like when you watch the Sonic film and everyone's like, "Oh, it's surprisingly good," which is just code for it's shit.
Oh no, it's code for it's average because you expect shit. We said before.
I expected this to be worse, and it was like the whole like fire Bowser Kingdom going up and this like ice palace was like it looked cool. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty sick.
I don't know. I didn't expect to be as angry about this until we started talking about it, and now I think I am actually angry that this exists.
Just start yelling and crying.
Because I fucking Mario 64 was one of the 2 games I had on my Nintendo. It was that and Lilac Wars. Maybe that's it because that didn't get a movie.
Oh, it's all come full circle.
That would have made an infinitely better movie than what I thought the whole way while I was playing Mario 64. I did not think, wow, I can't wait to see this on the big screen. I can't wait to see these characters play off of each other.
You got to think bigger, Will. That's the problem.
You know how many words Mario says to Bowser in all of Mario? Like 0.
1, 2. So long, gay Bowser. 4 words.
So long, gay Bowser.
So long, gay Bowser. 4 words.
It says 4 words.
All right, this
I don't know.
next news story. You got. Oh, this is a funny one. Because we kept going about like, oh, the Last of Us remake and so many remakes. So Horizon Zero Dawn is getting either a remaster or a remake. Not quite sure yet. Plus, it's also like leaked stuff, so it's not fully confirmed.
I said when this was posted. Well, I think I might have posted it, and I was like, I said something really funny, and none of you guys reacted. I was like, oh, that's a shame. But I said because this is remastered, it's
Okay, that's what
the
joke that we didn't laugh at last time.
Go for it.
It's getting remastered. It means that Elden Ring is getting DLC or Elden Ring 2 is coming out because we talked about how Horizon's always dicked over by a bigger release.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong.
So I was like, oh, this means that something else is coming out at the same time.
No, I can't. It's too mean. It's going to completely stonewall it. Yeah.
I wonder if this game is very like. I mean, it's fairly recent, but its open world style is very dated at this point. Right?
It is because I just experienced it again in the sequel.
Are people going to be like, this is kind of not great in 2023? This is like not very interesting.
Oh, it's okay.
You know what I mean?
I think so. First of all, I think I already have this on PS5. They gave away a whole bunch of PS4 games to PS5 players when it came out because there's nothing on the fucking console at launch, right? So they're like, here, have a bunch of old games. So I might have this already at like 60 FPS, but it's also like, it's like you said, it's when you've got the sequel on the console to then have like the not even that old step backwards to come out as like a remaster remake. If this felt really weird to me. I get that I don't have much of a leg to stand on considering I've just been talking about how much I love The Last of Us remake. I feel like a lot of people have more love for that than the first Horizon game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because everyone forgot about it because some other game was out at the same time.
Well, I did play Horizon when it came out, and even at the time, I was like, this feels very Ubisoft, you know, like in the
Yeah.
worst ways. It's like this is fun, and robot dinosaurs are obviously cool as fuck, but it doesn't feel like it's not doing anything interesting with its world. It's just by the numbers open world sort of thing. It was I don't know. I just feel like this is gonna feel older than
Well,
its
yeah,
remake would lead
yeah.
you to believe.
And it's also one of those things where logically my brain goes to a place where it's like, okay, the Horizon Forbidden West came out, the sequel. A bunch of people played it and were like, oh, what? I didn't play the first one. I want to know how we got here. But it's like, I'm fairly sure only a handful of people have played the sequel anyway, because PS5s are still somewhat tricky. And also, the PS4 was like one of the best selling consoles ever.
yeah,
And this was one of the best games for it.
yeah.
So
yeah.
everyone
And they
played
gave the
this.
game away for free as well. during
They
the
have,
lockdown.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
they've given
now-
it away for free a lot. Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
on PC now as well. So
I guess Aloy is like a popular character. She is in Genshin Impact, so
But I feel like she's
that's
a
your
popular
metric.
character. Yeah, I feel like she's a popular character because Sony just decided she was going to be a popular character more than people being like, "Yeah, I really
I
like
dunno,
that Aloy." You know?
2017.
Maybe
came out.
they did push it a bit, but at the same time,
It's-
Horizon was huge.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
I
it was
guess,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah, look, right here. I've just googled Horizon Zero Dawn, and there's Digital Foundry URL. Do we really need a Horizon Zero Dawn remake? So I need to bring it up because I like those guys. They put out good stuff.
Well, there you go. You can stop listening to us and go and
Yeah,
go and watch their
Go watch
video
them
because they
instead.
know what they're talking about. Yeah,
I'm gonna watch that later. Actually, I like them. Yeah, it's just weird. This one's just weird to me. But yeah, so that's gonna happen at some point. It's nothing's confirmed. It's just been leaked and rumored. But that was that one. You then had there's a whole bunch of CDProjekt stuff coming out.
yeah.
You lot hear about this?
I heard about it. I didn't like. It was all just like, oh, this is coming out and this is coming out, and nothing like was like, oh, I'm really interested. But
They dumped a whole bunch of stuff basically. So you have they're making obviously a new Witcher game, which we know about. We talked about it,
Mhm.
and that's going to be a trilogy. They're
Oh,
doing Project Sirius by the Molasses Flood. A picture of that here. It's a cool name, by the way, the Molasses Flood.
what
Like
are you
that.
saying?
Slowest flood ever.
Innovative take on the Witcher universe, telling an unforgettable story. Blah blah blah. That sounds like some kind of Telltale project. to be
Yeah, I was
honest.
just thinking that. Yeah.
But you had that one, and Canis Majoris, which was story-driven single-player open. So another Witcher RPG, but not part of the trilogy they're planning. You had that. You had Cyberpunk. They've confirmed a sequel, but I think it's pretty good. I think if they do Cyberpunk like a sequel properly and don't fuck it up, there's still room there to
Yeah.
actually have a good game.
I say people have been loving Cyberpunk recently again. So
Anime saves the day. What can I say?
Uwu.
And then, so the one of the big talks was something called Hadar. Oh my God, what is this? Twitter, please. Yeah, so something called Hadar, which is essentially it's them saying we're making something new.
And didn't they say that for this thing that it's gonna have multiplayer and at the start? I believe
They haven't said anything, I don't think.
I thought they did somewhere. I thought I read it somewhere that their next projects will have. a
Oh,
bigger
probably,
focus
yeah.
on
But nothing
multiplayer.
about Hadar specifically. I got a little
Oh,
bit
okay.
wound up at Hadar. Not like proper wound up, but I was talking about this with Plant on, I think, Will's Discord, where they came out and said, we're making Project Hadar. It's a new IP, and we haven't done any work yet.
They're not. They've said literally nothing.
They've
Yeah,
said,
I
they've
see what
said
you mean.
literally, and my argument was, people were getting excited, and my argument was that's not news, because
Yeah.
because as far as I'm concerned, to me, the headline there is, games company announces
game.
it's making game.
Okay. I am with you, but to play devil's advocate,
Yeah,
they have only for the last, since they've founded, they've worked exclusively with The Witcher and now Cyberpunk. So new IP
And they
for
struggled with
Yeah.
both.
CDProjekt Red is something. It's not nothing.
Okay, then my counter to that is, off of the launch lead up to Cyberpunk, have they literally learnt nothing? Because
okay, yeah, well, yeah,
Cyberpunk.
But that's a whole other problem.
Cyberpunk was, we're working on a Cyberpunk aesthetic. We have nothing to show you except for this 20-second long CG trailer, and then I think they showed nothing else for about 7 or 8 years. And
that's most games though these days.
But I think again, devil's advocate. This is nothing to do with us. This is to placate shareholders and
put out
like a
we're not dead.
No. What's the word? Like recruitment drive, you know?
I get.
CDProjekt Red is making brand new IP. It's CDProjekt Red. You know, we make Witcher and Cyberpunk, but forget about that. And so come work for us, you know. Make this new IP.
I love the idea of it being a recruitment drive for, like you said, this company that only makes Cyberpunk and Witcher, and then someone applies there and gets a job and goes, "Oh man, I wanted to work on The Witcher. I've got to work on this Project Hadar, which is this World War II game or something."
Yeah, but I guess that means, because everyone was like, "Oh, you know, Cyberpunk, what a failure," and stuff like that. But it's like, well, they're making a lot more projects, so it kind of, you know, they're doing. CDProjekt Red seems to be doing just fine.
I assume they had quite a big war chest from all the like good faith, and the Witcher games were good and sold. The Witcher games sold a lot, and regardless of whether or not you hated or whatever Cyberpunk at launch, it sold a lot of copies through pre-orders.
True.
Yeah, I wasn't there for Witcher launch, but I heard that had like its issues. But I think also the push for Netflix shows has brought in a whole new audience.
Yes,
people love The Witcher, and that got an anime as well. So anime that saved the day. And now the Cyberpunk thing has renewed interest in Cyberpunk, and I'm assuming a bunch more, because they recently posted that Cyberpunk got 2 million, so that's got new people playing Cyberpunk as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's this whole Netflix has got the quote unquote normie crowd playing these games that are now kind of like had time to be fixed and polished.
Yeah, it's like not even playing the games. Back when I worked my old job, I worked with a handful of older people. And I say older, they were like, maybe like early mid-50s.
They were late 20s.
And they were like, they're watching Witcher, and they're talking about Witcher, and they're like, "Oh, this new fantasy show on Netflix. Oh, yeah, it's really good. Oh." So it's like, and they're never going to play the games. But like you say, it keeps CDProjekt Red's properties in people's minds, even outside of the gaming sphere.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't translate to sales, it definitely translates to like market share. Is that branding, that sort of thing?
Yeah,
it makes The Witcher and now Cyberpunk a more valuable property because it's got these like cross media.
Everyone knows their names.
Yeah, everyone knows it. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting. A lot of this stuff, Hadar in particular, you won't hear about that till fucking 2030 something. I guarantee it.
Do you think Keanu Reeves is going to be in that as well?
Yeah, he'll be in everything now as the new face of. he'll be Geralt's new face in the new Witcher trilogy as well.
Oh my god, I would play. Oh my god, Keanu Witcher, I'd play that.
I'd play the shit out of that.
He's going to become the James Corden of video games.
Oh, please not.
No, because everyone likes Keanu.
Oh, that's true.
Now, just wait.
There's still time. We can still ruin Keanu.
James Corden used to be popular.
When he was just on Gavin and Stacey, now everyone hates him.
Yeah.
James Corden used to be Brad Pitt.
Oh, let's not go crazy now.
I don't know.
You're just chucking out celebrity names and hoping that it sticks.
I was like, who would be a young James Corden? I was like, I don't know.
Steve's gunning for a podcast title, isn't he, right now?
No.
I'm revving up the AI generator as we speak. James Corden, Keanu Reeves, Art Station, Cathedral.
Consexual?
Right, next news story. Very quick one. Platinum CEO breaks the silence on Babylon's Fall's closure. We're extremely sorry.
Is that all he said?
Yeah, and then he closed the front door.
Then he just
No, basically, so the last update that we had on this that we talked about was about how it's dead, right? It's like Babylon's Fall.
Yes.
It's dying. And then the story before that was how they were planning like season 2 and 3 of their like battle passes, and we were talking about it here, saying like that's not gonna fucking that's ridiculous. Like there's no, it's got like 7 players right now. There's no way. So yeah, they've broken the silence and said we're extremely sorry. Key takeaway of this is during the same thing, they have talked about how their next project, and they're still gunning for a live service game, which seems crazy to me. I don't know about you.
It does in a way, but I feel like there is a way to do live service and it not be the worst thing in the world. But
I think it's less to do with live service on paper, like this is a live service thing. It's more to do with I don't think I ever want to touch a live service game made by Platinum, because I don't know if I trust them to be able to do it properly.
Yeah. I will say there is a chance that they, small chance that they've learnt their lesson and it becomes like the best model of a live service game.
An expensive lesson to have, but maybe.
I know, but hopefully the failure has proven that, but only time will tell.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but when it comes to live service games, right? It's like it's just the game has got to be good, right?
Yeah.
And and Platinum makes good games. It's just in this case they did not make a good game.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm never gonna touch a live service Platinum game, because if they made, fuck, what did they make? Near online.
I'm just oh fuck,
right?
No, they could.
And I'd be like, all right, yes, I could try that. I'll give that a go.
Platinum does Bayonetta, right? So
yes, yeah.
So they could just do half-naked women and it would be sell like hotcakes.
I think it's like Will says. I think, yeah, if they make a good game and it's like live service, I wouldn't just poo-poo it away. I think the problem with we've said it before, but the problem with Babylon's Fall is that just visually it looked like a mess. Even looking at this picture here, it's like, what am I looking at? And then you dive into it a bit more and people were saying it plays terrible. You're like, oh, okay, I'm never going anywhere near this. Oh, and it's 50 quid as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They need visuals like, what was that? Godfall? That game had stunning visuals, and it's like, oh, mech god armor? That seems awesome. I don't think that game panned out too well, but...
Yeah, the aesthetic is just Reinhardt.
Yeah, if you can get like striking visuals like that, that'd be like a good first step. But this just seems like brown muddy mess.
Yeah, but yeah, that's that one. We'll see where it goes in the future. I am sad because I love Platinum games. I do. I'll be playing Bayo 3 when that comes out.
Of course, you will.
It's just sad. And then last one, I haven't actually watched this, so no, I have watched this. I haven't seen the gameplay stuff.
Yeah, there was. I did watch the 7-minute gameplay trailer. It's just them fighting one boss.
So tell me about does it look like it plays okay?
Okay, so this is Wild Hearts.
Yes.
What company is this again?
EA. Koei Tecmo.
EA's answer to Monster Hunter. It is unfortunately it's very Japanese themed, which is unfortunate since Monster Hunter's just released their Japanese
the most Japanese themed version of their game ever.
But this looks very, very polished, and it could probably going to be a good competitor to Monster Hunter if it can like get off the ground.
Yeah. So apparently this is the same devs that made. I hope I get this right. Tokiden. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, that woke Sam up.
Oh, that was like a Vita game, wasn't it?
So,
I think I had it for the PS3, and it was, and I can only describe it as this: a weeby Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, basically.
That's impressive because Monster Hunter is already pretty weeby.
This game, like it kind of had, that like calligraphy paint art style.
Yes, yeah.
It kind of had that going on. Like it was cool to play, but when I was playing it, I was like, why am I not playing Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
That's the bloody problem with all these, isn't it?
It's whenever, because it should be a slam dunk when I think of, it's just, I do like weeb games. I can't help it. And as long as the monsters are cool, which they do look cool, that
Yeah.
may be a little bit generic if you think of like, oh, it's a wolf from the ice zone, ice wolf, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, it should be a slam dunk. But then you play it and you're like, but I've played this type of game before, and it's just not as good, and therefore I can't enjoy it as much as like if I'd had never played Monster Hunter, I would probably play this and go,
Yeah.
wow, this game's fucking sick.
It's not fair playing these games when their competitor has, like we said before, the legacy of like 15 to 20 years behind
Yeah.
it. It's tricky. It's hard.
And it's not like Monster Hunter's perfect, you know?
Yeah.
You could easily look at Monster Hunter and be like, what have you actually changed
Yeah.
in each iteration?
Dogs.
Yeah.
But then you're like, but sometimes you don't need to change all that much because the formula just does actually just work.
Yeah. Well, this has been properly announced. It's getting like gameplay videos and this, that, and the other. Can't remember when it comes out. Do you remember, Steve?
I'm not sure entirely. The one thing that I did notice though is this game is priced at $70, which means £70. So I was going to say I feel like
Yeah.
this game needs to do a dauntless of be the cheaper alternative, and it's not. So it's like a new IP that's like full price.
We just got to hope it's banging, basically.
Apparently, it launches February 17th.
Okay. Well, it looks
Which
exciting
I
at
think
least.
February is like a busy month next year as well. So yeah, we'll have to see.
February always is. It's always a busy.
Hmm.
And that's all the news for the week.
Yeah,
Do you have any upcoming games, Steve?
we have a few. Yes.
Let's go for those quick.
On October 11th, we have Asteriagos, which I talked about earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that like Dark Souls, but baby's first Dark Souls.
Yeah.
We also have on PC, we have No More Heroes 3, which I know is a popular game.
Never got
for
into
some.
that. Never got into those.
I know some people love it though
Yeah.
completely. That is coming out on the 11th as well, and also we have No More Heroes 3. I'm not sure what it is. I just know that people love the game.
Yeah.
We also have a game called Evil, which is E and then Ville like a city or village
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever. It's a social deduction game, but this one apparently has more action in it. Like you're actually playing the game, and like to kill someone, you go around and kill them. It looked kind of good, but again, it says its inspirations are Among Us and like Project Winter and
Us.
stuff. So I was like, this could be fun. It depends on the price.
Yeah.
On October 12th, we have Undecember, which I also talked about from playing in the demo. The Diablo-like or Lost Ark-like. So that's out on December the 12th. October 12th. On October 13th, we have Cultic, which might interest Will, maybe. I think it's a pixel boomer shooter.
Pixel boomer shooter. That's Will for Will then.
I know Blankcast is very into this one.
Oh yeah, I've seen loads of like gifs of this guy
Looks a bit too
on
rough
like
to me.
Reddit.
Yeah, but it's that sort of like cult shooter sort of thing. We also have an October 13th Triangle Strategy is coming to Steam.
Oh, okay.
I know I own that. I haven't played it yet or played much of it, and I know Sam played it as well.
Yeah,
Would you recommend it?
If you like those types of games, then you'll enjoy it. Just it's not as in depth as it's made out to be, but that is kind of to its credit at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it tries to do this whole politics thing, but mechanically it's very easy to manipulate, so you're not actually having to like sit there and use brain power like all the time, you know.
Mm.
But the combat is very cool and very well thought out. So
Yeah.
if you
And,
like those games, you'll like this game.
Yeah, and this is like the same people who do like Octopath Traveler and
Yeah.
Daily Life Cycle, whatever it's called, and then also on October 13th we have this is for Josh, the Xenoblade Chronicle 3 second DLC is coming out.
Oh, okay. I need to get further in that game before. I'm just scared of spoilers and stuff in the DLC.
Yeah, but they often give like free shit in that.
Yeah.
on October 14th, we have Dragon Ball: The Breakers, which is the Dead by Daylight,
yeah.
but Dragon Ball game. It's paid. I did play in the original beta for this. It was not great, but they might have improved since.
Oh, it looks like it looks terrible.
If it was free, like if it's on Game Pass, it might give it a try. But like, do not pay £16 for this.
Oh my god, no!
It looks like Fortnite on low graphics with that.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
It's like 1v8, I believe, and like the whole premise is that there's one player is a monster, and the other players have to go find the Dragon Balls around the map and bring them to a location.
Yeah.
And then the big thing for October 14th is Scorn is out.
Oh, I can't wait.
And I think it's on Game Pass, right?
It is, yeah.
It is.
Day and date.
So that one will be Halloween streamer bait. That's going to be all over the place.
I cannot
I am
wait for this.
excited and nervous.
I'm nervous it's going to be
Yeah.
bad. You know.
See, I'm actually in the moment in a kick of playing scary games, but I am going to wait for this one because I know that anyone who wants to watch scary games is going to be, I want to play Scorn first.
Yeah, people are going to be playing it when it comes out first.
Yeah, so I'm like, I might stream it at the end of Halloween, we'll see. But yeah, it's I'm not sure. It doesn't appeal to me, but yeah,
Yeah.
it looks very gory.
Looks very cool.
And that is it for releases.
Oh, sick. Well, I'm glad. I completely forgot that Scorn was coming out, so I'm looking forward to that.
Hmm.
We'll sign off then. It's getting pretty late, so we'll wrap it up. Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you've all had
Thank you,
fun.
everybody.
Yeah, I hope you've all had a fun little time. We'll do our quick sign off very quickly, and then we'll get away. My name is Josh. You can find me on everything as BottlerWorks, and all the socials for myself and everyone are below. Will?
You can find me at Olive_Meister. You'll find me. You know where I am.
And Steve?
Hi, I'm Quikwix on everything. That's QUIKWIX.
And Sam. Everyone's favourite, Sam.
Yeah, it's me, Sam. I tweeted twice today.
Oh my god, what?
I was going to call him
that.
out on that. Yeah, I saw that.
I saw a tweet chain and was like, "You are asking for this," so I went for it.
Yeah. You
And then gave a serious tweet underneath.
You fell for the
because
bait.
I felt bad, but maybe they got me. You know.
All right, let's head off then. Thank you for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.